Meanwhile, it turns out the Lakers, well, they did make a trade after all, as there was no turning back for Lamar Odom. Sent to Dallas, the team that swept L.A. in the playoffs for the Mavs' 2012 first-round pick. The Lakers also receive a traded player exception for the 32-year-old reigning sixth man of the year. Lamar and Chloe are headed to Texas. Let's get Kobe's reaction and Dirk's as well.
Yeah, you gotta let Mitch do his job. Look, Mitch has proven himself over the course of years that he's been able to build a great team here, and we have to all trust that he's going to do that. That being said, it's still hard to see one of my friends, and one of our great players go somewhere, especially to that team, seemingly for nothing. Now, whether they have something else going on, that's on them to decide. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
I was watching Harry Potter 2 last night, so I missed the whole thing. I had my phone somewhere in the kitchen, and when I wanted to go to bed, I checked my phone, and my phone blew up. There was a lot of messages on there, and so I was excited. Kind of obviously went on the internet right away to read up on some stuff, and really gave up nothing for a great player. So it's always a good move, and I think it's going to fit in well, so I'm excited.
Man, two very different moods for the team stars, and of course big changes for the defending champs. Tyson Chandler headed to the Knicks, so key defensively for what the Mavs did in the finals. Caron Butler signs with the Clippers, and Odom, of course, will ease that. The Mavs taking a look at Vince Carter. On the Dwight Howard green light list are the Dallas Mavericks, Barea, Stojakovic, both unrestricted. So, again, big changes, but they have to like Odom and Ron, what he brings to this team because of, obviously, reigning sixth man of the year, a pro,
right,
and a guy who will fit in.
And a guy that's, like you said, that's won championships. He's been in a good culture. But if I'm Odom, I really like this move. When you look at Odom's game, he likes being the support guy. He's thrived as being a guy that succeeds when he has other good players on the floor. You've got a Dirk Nowitzki. You've got a Sean Marion. You've got a Jet. You've got all of these pieces. Now you can come in and just be a stop fill. You can fill gaps. You can be the guy that you are. And then even though they don't have Tyson Chandler in the back, you bring in a guy like a Brendan Haywood, who's known as a solid defensive guy. Good move, I think, for Lamar Odom.
I think it's great. I think when you start looking at it, you get a chance to go to another team, like Ronnie said, that won a championship. You've been on championship teams. You're not starting all over. You're getting a chance to go to the Dallas Mavericks team with an owner in Mark Cuban that's still trying to win a championship. And he fits right in, like Ronnie said. He can come in, be Lamar Odom. Doesn't have to be anything else. Yes, defensively they lost a lot with Tyson Chandler, but I think they gained something with Lamar Odom, a guy that will come off the bench and could be the sixth man of the year. Again, along with Jason Terry, they might have to share the award. It might be two guys winning that award.
But you can see what chaps Kobe as a competitor. I mean, this team knocked you out of the playoffs. You still had that bad taste in your mouth, and now you're sending one of your guys there.
Because as of right now, Kobe said it. It was basically for nothing. Yes, it's a trade exception, but you don't know what that trade exception is going to bring as of today, right now. Because if you don't get anything for Lamar Odom, you're losing a lot with the Los Angeles Lakers. He was their glue guy coming off the bench.
Right, a head-scratcher right now for the Lakers. And for more on this story, we dialed up L.A. Times beat writer Mike Bresnahan, who tells us the Laker leader was none too pleased with the Odom trade. He tells us even more.
Kobe Bryant, not a big fan of this Odom deal. He said directly, I don't like it. He's very, he was confused about it. He was none too pleased. He said Lamar was a great chemistry guy. Obviously, kind of a cliche to use that phrase, but on a team where you have so many guys who have unique personalities. Kobe, of course, meta world peace. He needed a nice guy, a good guy, a guy who would always say, hey, how you doing? Congratulations. What's new with you? What's going on with you? Lamar Odom was that guy. Kobe Bryant, not happy to see him go, especially not happy to see him go to the Dallas Mavericks, the team that embarrassed the Lakers back in May, knocking them out of the playoffs in 4 games.
And talk to us, Mike, about the trade exception and how that may be tied in to a run at Dwight Howard, or maybe there's no connection at all. Is Dwight next?
You know, it's a very extreme move, Vince. I mean, the Lakers either did this just to dump a disgruntled player, or they did it to try to get something to go after Dwight Howard with. With the trade exception, you can use Lamar Odom's salary, which was $8.9 million this year. You can tack on $100,000, so let's go up to $9 million. That's the rule. They can take back a player for $9 million, in addition to taking back Dwight Howard. Not many players on the Orlando roster that would be around that area, maybe J.J. Redick or Jameer Nelson. but not Hedo Turkoglu. He is over $9 million. His number is about $11 million this year. So the Lakers could not get him back with Dwight Howard by just giving up, say, Odom and this so-called trade exception.
Let's talk about Pau Gasol. Is he a guy who's kind of looking over his shoulder now because he was dealt? Now he's back. I wonder where he thinks he stands in all of this.
Yeah, today was such a crazy day out at the Laker training facility. It was their annual media day. And the players go from, like, station to station, TV stations, radio stations. They do, like, pre-tape recordings, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Easter. And the TV and radio stations use these things later on in the year. It's very bizarre to hear Pau Gasol say, I'm Pau Gasol, I'm here with the Lakers, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. He shouldn't be with the Lakers. He was traded 3 days ago, and obviously we all know what happened to that trade, but just kind of dripping with irony, Pau introducing himself as being with the Lakers. He has been very professional in this entire situation. He practiced again today. He practiced yesterday. Things have just been up in the air, and Pau has been practicing with the team, unlike Odom, who did not go to the facility, other than a brief meeting with Kupchak on Friday and to have his physical taken on Saturday.
Mike, if it's not Howard in the future and if Pau stays, what's next for the Lakers? Do they stand pat at this point, or who do you see them maybe? Who's on their radar?
If it's not Chris Paul or it's not Dwight Howard, the Lakers will have some explaining to do. I don't see anything on the radar right now that would satisfy Laker fans other than those two players. And, again, the Lakers have this trade exception. They now have their own first-round pick as well as the Mavericks' first-round pick. But let's remember, both of those picks are going to be kind of in the late 20s, you would imagine. So, I talked to a Laker executive earlier this afternoon. There's nothing going on right now. So we'll just have to wait and see what the next week or two bear until the season kicks off for the Lakers on Christmas night.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, Mike. Mike Bresnahan, thank you very much from the LA Times. Always good to talk with you.
Anytime, Vince.
So, Ronnie, you heard it. I mean, how do you get Kobe back on board?
Well, I think you got to make a move. I think he said it best. When you look at Kobe's frustration, it's because at this point they've given up something, and as he said, seemingly have gotten nothing back. We all know Kobe. Kobe's not trying to win games. Kobe's not trying to just look good statistically. He wants to win championships. Sure. And the Lakers have to get some pieces that make the game easier for Kobe. The last few years he's been straining, working just a little bit too hard, and now you give up a Lamar Odom. No one else comes in. He's thinking in his mind, I'm sure, something's got to give. We've got to get some pieces.
Vince, when you look at it, like Ronnie said, I'm going to take it a step further. You look at Kobe Bryant, I'm having Chris Paul give me easy shots. That's taken away.
Right.
Now you get rid of Lamar Odom, who made life easier. Not as easy as Chris Paul would have made it, but that's my guy. We've been together 7 years. We won championships. He's gone basically for right now for nothing. Kobe Bryant is definitely upset. So the Lakers have to get CP3 or Dwight Howard or something to make Kobe Bryant happy. If they don't, I feel sorry for that organization and everybody's out there that'll be around Kobe.
Right, and before we get to
rightfully so.
Right, no question. Before we get to another big man to talk about, do the Lakers then dial the 407 area code and see what Dwight's all about here? Is this what this is about? Is this the cure-all?
I think so. I think
mean,
you have
any
to.
other move?
I mean, I don't know if you still can get Chris Paul. Maybe they're still working on that. Doesn't look like it. But I think right now, at this juncture, like you said, but you have to go out there and get Dwight Howard. And if not Dwight Howard, I don't know who else is out there in 2012 that will make Kobe Bryant happy.